What's going on, guys? Gabe here with Review Dork, and today we're talking about the Samsung Galaxy S20 Plus, the middle child in the S20 lineup that I personally feel hasn't got the attention it deserves. Sure, the smaller sibling costs less, and the bigger sibling, the S20 Ultra, comes with a jaw-dropping 108 megapixel sensor and an impractical, dare I say, useless 100 times zoom, but the S20 Plus is cheaper and ideally has the performance and specs most people would care about. The S20 Plus has a brilliant 6.7-inch display, yes, fractionally smaller than the Ultra's 6.9-inch slab of glass, but because of the slighter, smaller display size, you're getting a higher pixel density of 520 ppi versus the Ultra's 511 ppi. Now, this is a small difference and probably not noticeable, but since we are YouTubers and we nitpick about everything, well, it's certainly worth mentioning. The phone is a slimmer but taller design, yet it feels amazing in the hand. Oddly enough, I've heard too many complaints about the placement of the volume rocker and the power button, and I guess that's a thing YouTubers talk about, but I have big hands, so scaling the device was never an issue for me. The S20 Plus comes in 3 color options, Cosmic Black, Cosmic Gray, and Cloud Blue. I personally got mine in Cosmic Black, and yes, it does incriminate you severely. Begging for your next fingerprint to smudge its otherwise flawless backside. Yeah, but I'd rather spend my time reviewing other types of backsides as opposed to nitpicking about the colors and fingerprints. After all, it's going in a case, guys. Speaking of protective cases, shout out to OtterBox for making a case that doesn't feel like ride gear but still protects my 5-figure purchase. And if you like living on the edge, hey, do you, buddy. But when you drop your phone, and you will, that cosmic gray backside is going to look a lot like a cracked granite countertop. And always use protection. I mean, guys, we're just living in that day and age, and I hope you guys are watching this video from the comfort of your own home and not running around doing crazy things like buying toilet paper. The S20 Plus comes with a Snapdragon 865 chipset, 120Hz display, and upgraded camera sensors with 30 times super resolution zoom. And although it's not as impressive as the 100 times zoom found in the S20 Ultra, I would say that unless you're trying to see into the future, the 100 times zoom is a little more ambitious than it is practical. The 10 megapixel selfie is pretty decent, but the smoothing feature makes me look and feel CGI. Again, it's kind of cool, but not a compliment because I don't want to look like Will Smith in Gemini Man. 8K video recording is impressive, but only in very well lit situations, so make sure you're at least 2 orbits away from the sun for best results. And in poorly lit environments, once you enter 8K video mode, you introduce a lot of noise into your footage, and it's a tad bit disappointing considering this was a highly marketed feature. And I have to say, Super Steady mode is damn near useless, and it's another feature that requires a substantial amount of light. And make sure you're aware of this because your friends will laugh at you, and you don't want to be that guy with a $1,200 phone with video footage that rivals your grandmother's VHS collection of Gilligan's Island, because the noise that you introduce into your footage with Super Steady is just, I guess it's unacceptable. Yes, Samsung has improved their cameras, and substantially. The photos are very sharp with the Samsung look, and you guys know this, it's high contrast, high saturation, but I did notice color shifting as I took pictures swapping back and forth from the 12 megapixel to the 64 megapixel mode, and it's not a deal breaker, but it's noticeable. I also found the 12 megapixel main snapper had more contrast and dynamic range, and not sure why this would be, but I'm pretty sure Samsung will address some of the camera quirks with a few updates. But now, right now, at this very moment, the king of snaps and videos has to go to the iPhone 11. I really hope this wouldn't be the case, but Apple's doing much more with much less on the spec sheet, and their image processing is the stuff of potions, lotions, and wizardry. 4500 milliamp hour battery feels like an all-day battery, easily making it through its shifts before being rewarded full charge at night. More intense usage will probably require me to charge it somewhere in the middle of the day for about 20 minutes or so. so, give it that nice boost and, make sure you get home. Now, this is pretty darn impressive when you consider the 120Hz display. I was worried that the display would eat through my battery like a hot dog eating professional, but it didn't. And I was really curious. Samsung, how did you pull this off? So I resorted to basic mathematics. Basic math would have the Quad HD lighting 276 million pixels per second, which is 3200 by 1440 at 60 Hz, or 60 times a second. The 120Hz would light up a total of 311 million pixels per second, which is 2040 by 1080 and 120 times per second, which is basically a 30 million pixel difference. And considering it's an OLED, you definitely get some sort of appreciation for how Samsung prioritized the battery. Also, this is where 5G comes in, and I really didn't see the dedicated 5G chip slurping away at battery life. But then again, in Central Florida, AT&T has yet to fully roll out 5G, and truth is, I'd much rather prefer better LTE coverage as opposed to higher speeds. I did manage to get 70 megabits per second download speeds by literally standing next to a tower. Aside from Samsung and Qualcomm shoving 5G down the throats of consumers, the S20 Plus manages to be remarkable, and then not so much at the same time. Gaming on this device is nothing short of amazing, which is the S20's saving grace, because I'm not too sure I'm sold on the camera hype. And of course, Bixby just sucks. After spending a week with the S20 Plus as my daily driver, I see that there's definitely progress forward, and it checks all the boxes, excelling at some things and crashing in others. Now, I'm not sure who Samsung is attempting to target with the Galaxy lineup, photographers or gamers. After all, the true potential of a 120Hz display can only be harnessed with high FPS type games. The camera, as impressively sharp as it is, will definitely not be a photographer favorite. That honor belongs to the iPhone 11 Pro, hands down. And I'm an Android fanboy, but gotta give credit where credit's due. Apple is doing their thing. But there's something absolutely sinister about what the S20 stands for. About what Samsung intends for the S series in years to come. Already with a base of 12 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of storage as a baseline and upgradable, and of course 120Hz refresh rates, the future of the Galaxy S series looks less and less like an iPhone killer, with Samsung DeX looks like a desktop and laptop killer. Samsung can now invite legions of gamers who can truly appreciate these incredible specs, and the legions of productivity and power users who prefer power, lots of power, in such a small mobile platform. This is the real game changer, guys. Not the display, not the camera, but everything else that comes with it. This is Gabe with Review Dork. I am signing out, but before we go, there's something even more practical than the Galaxy S20, and much cheaper, and in fact shares a lot of I don't know, it seems like a genetic clone, and we will be reviewing that this week. Now, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below, because a review of the Samsung Galaxy A71 is coming at you full steam this week. And again, we are living in troubled times right now. Should I say troubled or confusing or whatever the hell you guys want to call it? I guess what I'm saying is, be safe, guys, and if you don't have to be out there, don't be out there. And stop buying toilet paper, you're gonna give your ass a rash. That's it. Gabe with Review Dork. I'm signing out. Peace.